Yep, I'm back at it again with another banger again. Yeah, man. I just um I watched the video last night. I think I did 6 minutes and something. It took about 6 hours for that thing to upload. It took 6 hours to about 5 or 6 hours for that video to upload. You know what I mean? But I guess if I had regular service on it, won't take hardly no time. You know. But I ain't had no service on my device on my phone, so I couldn't do anything. You know what I mean? You know how it is when you liking the resources. What I'm gonna have to do is go back and change the time. I just got new videos since I'm so used to just putting just live new video stuff that because I got immune to it over the years since I've been doing videos because my spelling and stuff wasn't good. It's still not too good, but my reading, when it comes to reading, my reading is pretty. It's good. It's fast. It's really good. Good enough to be able to comprehend and read certain things and can understand. Even though I feel like before social media, I always push myself. You know, of becoming better. I got help from family members and stuff like that, reading and stuff like that. You know, I call on different ones. Yeah, you know, mother one of them, nephew, brothers, cousins. Sometimes I got my cousins and things that with the help of that. You know, my mother too, and the first one. And what I'm saying is that I pushed myself. You know what I mean? I did. I pushed myself. This was way, way before even I even knew what social media, computers, any of that. None of this. I wasn't. That was before any of this exists. I knew I always had something that I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Yeah, I always had something I wanted to do. Like I just knew it in my soul that um, I feel like this mystery when I used to of dealing with our people in the community. It's like it was, but you knew it's a magnet. It's just like you feel like it's a magnet. Something out there for you to do that it was a magnet, and didn't know that it was leading to this. You know, I always had something in my spirit that I wanted to like get black people, my people together and stuff. I always had these things running through my thoughts in my head. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's all I grew up around. Is I didn't even matter of fact I didn't even know what Black, Latino, Native American. I didn't know what that meant. None of that until 2000 and basically 18, and I came into this truth. I realized that I've been misled. I was a Seventh-day Adventist. I tell a little story every once in a while here and there. And I have videos where I talk about coming out of the movement, Seventh-day Adventist movement. I joined the movement in '92. I joined the movement. Excuse me. I joined the Seventh-day Adventist movement in '92. '92. I was 17. I was a teenager. I was working at Ryan's, a restaurant called Ryan's. I always did, you know what I'm saying? I worked to the best of my ability, worked hard. I always was a hard worker, you know. I got fired on mostly the jobs practically my whole life, you know. I guess I didn't understand why. I always felt like it was a difference. You know what I mean? It felt different. You know, working, going to school, it just felt different. You know, it just you feel different from everybody else. Not saying I'm better, you know, but you just always knew it was a difference. You know, it's always a difference. Like, you know, and that's when I started to realize that you can't explain it, but you just what you know, when it came to my communication skills wasn't good. You know what I mean? Stuff, you know, stuff like that. And still is to a degree. You grow up, you realize you're slacking some resources, stuff like that. You know, so we know that's going back to Deuteronomy 28, the curses. We know it, stuff like that. You know, what else? You realize you're slacking different resources. You know, like, and then when you look around and you see other communities, you know what I mean? It seems like the resources is good when you look around in the other community other than our community. When I would always come back into the African American black community and stuff like that where I live, mostly because I lived around people that look like me, black people, you know what I mean? I noticed a difference, but I couldn't understand why that difference was there. I just knew that it's a difference between black people and white people, but I didn't understand why, what was going on. You know what I mean? But I did knew that there was a difference, you know. That's all I can tell you. I knew it was a difference. And you have a mindset like what you're down here and the people, Caucasian man is like up here. You see what I'm saying? But you didn't understand. We didn't understand why that happened until we come. The veil is constantly being removed, and it shows us. You know what I mean? That's what that veil said. I realized coming to a knowledge of the veil. You know, the veil is like when you got the veil over you, you don't get it. You know what I mean? But once you come to understand, then that veil is removed. You start what dreaming about. I don't know how they go. You have a lot of dreams or something like that. Yeah. Hold on, y'all. Let's go get it. Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 46. It says, "The stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low." You know what that means? That's talking about the other nation. When you think about something high, the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee. All the other nations, they strangers. The Gentiles are strangers. The Most High called the biblical Gentiles would be the other nation, Esau. Those are the Gentiles. He said, the stranger that is within thee should get above thee very high. When you look at our people, black, so-called blacks, black people, Hispanics, Latinos, when you look at us, are we in the best condition? Mm-mm. To be lacking of resources. When you lacking and slacking in something, is that at your best or your worst when you think of something like that? When you think of like poverty, what does poverty mean first and foremost? Poverty means lacking in resources. Poor, the word poor, I bring it a little bit closer to home. Poverty means the same as poor, but I'm gonna use the word poor. The word poor means you're lacking in resources. Just like if you see a dog and that dog ribs are showing, right? Would you consider that a good thing or bad thing? Because his ribs are showing and he got worms coming out of him and it's like he almost weak. That would be considered a bad thing when you know what I mean? So it's the same thing with resources. When you liken in something, when you liken a animal, when a person is likened in food and they go days, months without just being neglected, it shows up, right? Don't it show up? It shows up. They body show up, the ribs show up, everything. From not eating properly, you see the person's ribs, right? Yeah. So when you look at that word poverty, the word poverty has to do with likening resources. You see what I'm saying? You're dealing with something that you can't afford. Something that you can't afford, or you don't have the money to pay for those things. You don't have the money to pay for um, buying the resources of transportation, like as a car. It provides transportation resources to get here and young. So, say if you had a car that you wanted, it was $100,000. More than likely, everybody, the so-called black, we know the more than likely naturally it's gonna go to the black in the black neighborhood and this and that. Usually that's what you think of, is what I'm saying. You don't look around and you don't think about uh, Caucasian people and living in good neighborhoods and stuff. You don't think of those people when you think of real living, real poor and poverty. You think of mostly of black people. You see what I'm saying? That's what you think of. Black people, if you say, I want me $100,000 car, $100,000 house. Let's say you work in it and you a job from 9 to 5, you working minimum wages, and you really not even getting minimum wages. What do you call that? That's lacking in resources. You gotta go to, not only that, but you gotta go to another nation of people that is in control of all those resources, right? Well, guess what? Do y'all know all of that stuff is in, did y'all know that's biblical? Mm-hmm. That's biblical. I can prove it right here. Yeah, I can prove that. The stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Now, the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. When you think of something that's very high, and when you think of somebody that's down low, you got one people that is very high. You got another people that is very low. When you look at the black community, I'm gonna say the black, Hispanic, and Native American community, are we on high or are we really on top? If you think about that, are we really on top? Do we own it? What I mean by that, do we own anything? Do we have control of all of everything? on this planet? Do we control the everything, just the food resources and stuff like that? Do we control any of that stuff? When we want certain things, we got to go to or depend upon another nation for all those things. If you want an education, who you got to go to? You got to go to the other nation, the white man. You got to go to all of them for that stuff. You want a GED? Who do you have to, who do I have to go to? If you want to work in the school system as a school teacher, who do you got to get permission from is to go and work in the school system and be a school teacher, whether you serving or whether you are just hired a regular school teacher. You got to go to school and you got to what that shit they call bachelor's degree, all that. You got to go to school and you got to go get certified for all that. You got to go to you look, bro. You can't even open up your own business around here unless you go get a permission, get a business license. Who do you got to go to get that business license? I can keep going on and on. The list goes on. I can name a whole bunch of things. Driver's license. If I want to get out there right now and drive the car that's sitting outside around my house, who do I got to go get permission to get on the road and get that? And before I do that, I can't just go out there and just take that car and just get on the highway and just go to driving without license or insurance. You got to go get permission from the Esau to do that. If you don't get permission from the white man, you can't do a damn thing. So that's what this Bible is telling us. Watch this. It says, let's look at what in scripture. Here we go. Therefore should thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put in want. Don't we want all things? Some of us want computers, right? Some of us want a better this, better that, whatever it may be. You may want some food, like a lot of us have, in the past, you know what I'm saying? It may be transportation. Most of us suffer from transportation. And then if we do have transportation, if something break on it, who do you got to go to get it fixed? You got to wait about 6 months, or you got to wait a couple of months before you can even you got to wait on your income tax. You got to wait. You got to sit back and you got to save up enough money. You got to wait until you get some kind of back time, a lawsuit or whatever you want to call it, to be able to do something kind of big. And that's rare in the Black community. I'm not saying that you do have a few so-called Black people that may be kind of well off or grew up well off, but we talking about that's only collectively, but we talking about as a nation of people, we don't control anything. And even the ones that may have something or grew up with something, all of the resources they got, they had to go to their enemy to get those things. Therefore shall thou, Deuteronomy 28 verse 46, therefore shall thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, and in hunger, that's Esau the white man, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Once you were stripped of your nationality, once you were stripped, and I'm gonna get on the streets, and yesterday I just did a test video a couple hours ago, because the video ain't been up in 24 hours yet. But that was just a test video. I'm trying to find me a spot where I'm comfortable, where I can actually get better at what I'm doing and be able to reach my people effectively. You know what I'm saying? Now, put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. You take a dog, you take a cow that you got, and you put a chain, or you put a rope, or you put some kind of something around that animal's neck. And every time he tried to run off, and you pull on that chain or whatever you got that dog on or whatever, pretty soon, one day, eventually, you're gonna be able to take that. You're gonna be able to release that dog out that fence, and he gonna stay right there in that yard. He ain't gonna go nowhere because you keep it around. You keep pulling, get back here, and you keep telling him to get back. You training him. You condition that animal is not to go out in the road. This is what our enemy has done to our people. Once they beat our nationality out of our head until they have destroyed us, meaning mentally, emotionally, we are destroyed. That's why a lot of our people calling themselves black. That's why a lot of our people call themselves Creole. That's why a lot of our people call themselves Haitian Creole. We're destroyed. And then we don't we don't know, we never heard of our great grandfather, siblings, and none of that. We never sat down and had a conversation with them. We never had nobody to stand up and say, hey, your great grandpa, your great 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 so and so left you an inheritance. Here, you don't have to worry about nothing. You don't have to worry about the struggle. You don't have to worry about this and that and the third. You have this, you have that, you have this. Oh, they left you an inheritance of this. This is where your land. This is where you was. This is where your people come from. This is where, or whatever. None of that stuff. You see what I'm saying? Uh, Having a good conversation. Your father sitting you down and say, "Well, son, I want you to this and that. I'm telling you all about you and your." No, it says, verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies. That eagle stands for America. That eagle stands for Esau. Yeah, the so-called white man, according to the Bible. Because if you look on the back of every dollar bill, what that you have the eagle symbol. It flies with a nation. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. That's why a lot of our people speak Creole. That's why a lot of our people speak Haitian Creole. I noticed that when I try to interact with a sister, as far as when I hear them talking on a camera, you don't know what they're saying. You can't understand. But when the sister write it down, or the brother, they write it, I notice that I can understand when they write stuff down. But just talking straight to them, you be like, what is they, you know what I mean? You see, that's a curse. A lot of us speak English. If you tell me to speak Portuguese or this and that and third, I wouldn't know what the hell you saying. We just were stripped from our original language. Let's read that one more time. Deuteronomy 28, verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. They don't show no kind of favor to our elderly people. They be on diabetes, hooked on all kind of medications and stuff, and they'll just let you die sometime. You see what I'm saying? I'm just telling the truth. A lot of our people suffer from all those type of illnesses, bro. And then over here, the Bible says in Deuteronomy chapter 28, and I don't know if I want. Let's start at verse 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, talking about the Bible, the Torah, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful. We got that, don't we have a disease on this planet Earth that have killed up a lot of people? Yeah. And the plagues of thy seed. Plagues of thy seed is the plague that has to do with destruction. It has to do with the coronavirus disease and all that. That's a plague. And even great plagues, and of long countenance, and sore sicknesses, and of long countenance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt which thou was afraid of. and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sicknesses and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, then will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. A lot of people died from these sicknesses that came on the planet from 2019, 20, 21, and 22. You see what I'm saying? Um, Black on black crime and all this type of stuff. And ye shall be left few in number, wherein ye were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy God. The voice of God is simply this Bible. It simply means you keeping the commandment. That's what the voice of God is this Bible. And it shall come to pass, as the Lord rejoice over you to do you good, to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you, and to bring you to naught, and ye shall be plucked from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. A lot of our people is dying, bro. Stuff like that. Diabetes, different things. And then, okay, now look, this is another curse that our people is up under too. And I want to read this here. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 32. It says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thy eyes shall look and fare with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. When you look at our family members, like brothers and things, our young black men, they incarcerated, right? So when it says given to another people, now it's not only just talking about that, but I'm just giving you a piece of it. When you look at our families nowadays, it says thy sons and thy daughters will be given to another people. So that means we're lonely, and we're like, damn, I wish you never got a chance to enjoy your brother. You never got a chance to enjoy your sister. Some of you, they was just in and out of the jail. They was in and out all the time. And then it came to a point, a lot of them some of them probably died in the streets. Just like I had family that actually, died in the streets. I'll leave it. I'll just say it like that for the time being. And I'm not complaining. I'm just pointing out why, for us, how we can get out of these conditions that we're in. That's all I'm saying. How we can stop suffering from being afraid, being up under fear and stuff, is because our forefathers and foremothers did not keep the command. They was ignorant to them. You see what I'm saying? And then their forefather was also probably was ignorant to them. Now, ignorant means they didn't know certain things that they didn't know. They didn't have a chance to learn about this truth or whatever. You see what I'm saying? And this goes to our people, part of them being incarceration. Now, when a lot of our people got off them slave ships, when they shipped a lot of people over to America, like they say 1619, and things of that nature, when they was doing the Atlantic slave trade and all that type of stuff, they split our people and divided a lot of people up. They shipped some of them off to Virginia. They shipped a lot of them off to Spain. Then shipped some from Spain to America and all that kind of stuff. It's like it was a roller coaster thing. You know what I'm saying? They was doing it like they were selling animals or something. Like they were rounding our people up like sardines and selling them like cows and horses and all that kind of stuff. That's how literally how our people was being treated, and it was called the slave. That's why they call it the slave trade, because it was the slave and the trade. I mean, they was dealing with the trading. They was buying slave. They was buying. You know what I'm saying? And all this is in the Bible, and I can prove that. So the Most High, it said, all right, let's read Deuteronomy 28:1. It said, but it shall come to pass if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God. That's the voice of God is somebody keeping the commandments, the Bible. The voice of God is the Bible, keeping the commandments. To observe, that means pay attention, and to do all his commandments, which I commanded thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. That answers verse 43, where it says, the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. So if you look at our people in Louisiana, no matter what city, state that you go in. If you go into the ghetto, into the hood, and the slum where so-called black, Hispanic people live at, in neighborhoods, you see nothing at the corner stores. You looking around in our neighborhood, you see that we're the only ones that are poor. You see that we're the only ones that are in a lower state. You see what I'm saying? We are the only ones that are in a lower state right now. You see what I'm saying? So also it says in Jeremiah chapter, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. Jeremiah 17 and verse 4. Jeremiah is a pretty long book. Jeremiah 17 verse 4. It says, and even thyself shall discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. So it says that we will discontinue from will be cut off from our nation of people. Our roots will be cut off from our roots, where we belong, to where we go back to. And these are the curses that he only put upon the children of Israel. He didn't put these curses upon every nation. Now, I have another question in mind. How would you know? How would I know if I'm an Israelite or not? And I do struggle with that. I ain't gonna lie. How do I know if I'm really an Israelite? How would I know? Because I don't go around claiming to be something that I'm not. But the only thing that I'm telling you for sure is that when it comes down to poverty, being in certain conditions, living in certain conditions, and liking in a lot of resources, even as now as I speak, I can say that with that part, I can say it with pride. But as far as me saying, oh, I can say it with pride that I'm an Israelite, I can say it with pride. No, I can only say it with pride that when I look around and I see transportation resources, liking in that, growing up and liking in transportation resources, growing up liking in food resources, you know what I'm saying? A lot of years, most of my whole life, you see what I'm saying? Um, liking in resources as far as being able, owning your own stuff where you won't have to go to another nation for nothing at all. Like right now, I wished I could say, man, I ain't got to go to no stores. I know how to make my own this. I know how to make my own that. I don't have to depend upon nobody. I don't have to depend upon the sheriff department. I mean, excuse me. Well, that the sheriff department, that's gonna be another video. I'm gonna do it another time. That's what I want to talk about. The sheriff department, all of that was used was to capture and catching slaves. They call it like thing. Have you ever heard of things called the runaway slaves and all that kind of stuff? Stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Um, let's go to Leviticus. I want to go to Leviticus chapter 27 and verse 17. No, Leviticus 26 and 17. My bad. Another curse I'm going to read to you. I'm just telling the truth, y'all. Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 17. The Bible said, I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when none pursueth it. And if ye will not for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sin. And I will break the pride of your power, and I will make your heaven as iron, and your earth as brass, and your strength shall be spent in vain, for your land shall not yield her increase, neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruit. I mean, everything that you plant or put your hands to plant, it's gonna be tarnished. That's what I'm thinking of. And if ye will walk contrary unto me and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times. more plagues upon you according to your sins. You're going to be punished. He punished Israel. And I will also send wild beasts amongst you, which shall rob you of your children. That's talking about Esau. Don't they rob us of our children? Don't they take your children if you don't send them to school or something like that? Or if you neglect, they call it defast, can come and get your children and all that time. It's dealing with all of that, all of this in one, you know. And I will send wild beasts amongst you, which shall rob you of your children and destroy your cattle and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolated. Your highways shall be desolated. Hold on. My bad. I had to go ahead and get the phone and do what I was doing. But anyway, said, I will send wild beasts amongst you, which shall rob you of your children and destroy your cattle and make you few in number, and your highways shall be desolated. Destroyed, man. That ain't nothing good about that, man. So um, let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter Deuteronomy 1:1. Let's read that. Let's see who all of this is talking to, because remember, Moses is talking to a nation of people. We're gonna find out who they are. Let's read Deuteronomy 20. Deuteronomy 1:1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness. Read it one more time. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness. So that means it didn't say he's speaking to the whole world. It just said he's speaking to only the Israelites. You see what I'm saying? So let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 one more time. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 46. I said something about how would you know if you're an Israelite or not? Somebody called me. Oh, I thought somebody, my bad. I thought they was calling me. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. It said, therefore should thou serve thy enemies. No, my bad. Verse 46. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. So, according to the Bible, he said, when you look around and you see the condition that you're in, lacking in resources, you don't have certain resources. You got to get, if you want food, you got to get up and you got to go to their stores and get it. So when I look at simple things like that, according to the Bible, it says this is how you can tell who is Israel, who are Israelites and who are not. Based upon this, according to this text, according to the Bible. That's why I say real Jews according to the Bible. Who fit it? If you fit, if anybody, any of us, if I fit these curses, which I would say that I do based upon what's going on, the Bible. I don't walk around and say, hey, I'm an Israel, I'm a this and that. But I say what I'm gonna do is just stick to what I know. You know what I'm saying? All I can definitely relate to liking and resources. You want something and you got to take some. Have you ever been in the store and you got to take some of the stuff off? Like, oh man, I can't get all, you know what I mean? Uh, you be in a situation like, damn, I want that, but I ain't got the money for it. You ever go in the store and you look at something you want and you be like, oh man, I ain't got, how much is you find yourself saying, how much is this? Oh, that's that. And then you start looking at, you pull out your money and you start looking at it and you count it, or you see if you can buy it or pay for it. And then if the tax run over, you're like, oh man, I don't have it. Don't worry about it. Take it off. So they have to come there. They have to say, we got a void. You know what I mean? They got to board it off, take it off some kind of way. You see what I'm saying? So that means you didn't have enough money. So you had to leave everything up on at the counter, or you had to leave it right there in the bucket, and they said, "Oh, we'll take care of it." So you had to leave up out of there because your taxes, the money ran over how much you thought that you had, or either it was like I now got to go home and scrap up some more money or whatever, and I got to come back and start all over again. You see what I'm saying? So that's what that means. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. You sit around, I wonder. I'm like, damn, man, you be thinking, you doing a lot of wondering. Like you said, I wonder. I wonder if, I wonder where this goes. Where my nation of people are. Like, man, I hope in the hell I'm not from Esau. Damn, I hope I ain't from these nasty, dirty bastards or something like that. I be thinking like that sometimes. You know, I know it's weird. I be having mixed feelings and mixed up feelings and stuff, you know. So I pretty much covered what I wanted to cover. It's a whole lot more to actually cover. But if you read all throughout this Bible, he's only dealing with Israel, you know. And well, this is last but not least, this is the way I be quoting there. So I'm gonna come back and I just spoke what was on my spirit, what I was up on me because I had to say it while it was up on my spirit, you know. Yeah. Sometimes when you be talking to your family like that, it makes them uncomfortable when you. I guess I don't know. It makes them when you speaking, especially when you're speaking stuff like this. You know. Yes, indeed. So I had to come out here. Just had to come out here and just film something a bit different and everything. So I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover right away. Because I realized you ain't gonna be able to just cover everything right away, you know. Yeah. I got another video I'm gonna do. It's gonna be about some business or something. I might have to just go on the account that I talk about low and high prices and stuff like that. You know, I think I'll do it from there. You know, find a way to graph it in there and talk about it. You know. Yep. So, well, I have no reason to keep the video out, but I pretty much had to get that off my chest. You know. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna head up out of here. Should I make this thing go an hour? Yeah. Whoops. Yeah. Now, right now, I'm just messing around. You know what I mean? Should I let it go up to about an hour? You know, but I basically covered what I wanted to cover about the curses and stuff like that. I'm glad I covered as much as I could. Hopefully, it was the best video. It just seemed like I'm getting right straight to the point because a lot of time I do videos and uh, I guess I had to train myself as Learn how to just get straight to the point, straight to the script, instead of just like stumbling over stuff and and like not getting to it or whatever, and then it's lingering like they're looking for the answer or whatever. And yeah, get back in there and make me some. Let me walk around. Let me just go ahead and walk around. Walk out. Got a lot of holes in the ground. Yeah. Looks like it's gonna rain a little bit. It's probably gonna rain a little bit. The sun. It's like it's a blend of both the sun and it's like you see, look like it wants to get cloudy or something like that. Which we have a lot of clouds and stuff. A lot. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, we definitely have a lot of clouds and stuff. I might try to, if it ain't no music in here, I might try to go in here and make me some coffee up in here. Which I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna try to see if I can get it all on film or something. Let's see what time. It's 11 something, so I'm gonna go ahead and make me pour up some and make it. Let's sit this up here. Let's see if I can sit this right there. Oh, I can bring it in here. Let's see if I can bring it in here. I'm gonna see if I can make this coffee. Do this here before I may not be able to leave it in here because the elderly woman coming in here. No, I'm gonna have to sit in here. Hello? Uh-huh. I'm good. I'm doing good. Oh, okay. Oh, well, yeah, probably long time ago. Oh, yes, ma'am. I got you. I definitely got you. I believe that. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me turn this. Hold on. Okay. The service went down for a minute. I don't know why, but I guess it does that, and it just took a minute for it to come back up. Yep. I don't know. Should I put that stuff in this video in there? I wanted to make me some coffee. I might have to just turn the mic off and then turn around and turn the camera off. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn the mic off. Hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Let me check and see if I'm good with the audio good. Let's see. Testing, testing, testing. Okay, we're good. We're still good on the audio. So let's turn this off here. I'm gonna mute the mic and I'm gonna turn the camera off for a minute. Okay. Um, I turned the mic back on for the time being. Um, I'll be back. I'll be back. I'm gonna mute this mic again. I know I keep muting it, but I'm trying to get to the point where I can get me some. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pour me some water, and then I'm gonna come back and make it in here and turn my camera on. But I'm gonna mute the mic for the time being. I'm gonna let y'all know I'm finna mute it right now. I'll be back. It's gonna be a minute, but I'll be back. All right, people. Let me turn this camera on. Right. Hold on just a minute. There we go. I had to do this here. I hated to have to do this, and I hated that the service went down. You see what I'm saying? I hated that happened. But I guess, and then I had to turn the camera off, and then I had to like mute the mic because I didn't want all that unimportant, unnecessary stuff is to be in the blog, whatever. And then the Wi-Fi went. I don't know the thing. I don't know if I accidentally hit up against the modem box or whatever, and it knocked the connection off for a couple of seconds. So it's probably gonna be a horrible video. I didn't think I said it, but since I've gotten this far in the video, 50, over 50 some minutes, I might as well just do a damn hour. So I'm glad I covered a lot. I was just thinking about something positive. The reason why I was laughing. I'm gonna also eat, man. I always did eat green fruit, like the apples and stuff. I've been eating those things ever since I was like 11 and 12, and I still be eating them things to this day, man. Hopefully, it ain't too much sugar. I like it kind of sweet, but I don't like it too sweet. You know.
Original coffee cream. I mean, they got different kinds like coconut, vanilla, and all that different, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna go ahead and put this sugar coffee cream up. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here now. I feel like I videotaped enough for the time being. Get ready to publish it to YouTube now. At, I don't know, 11? Yeah.